Hello Mathematicians! This is me again, Tutor Prince. Ayan, nagkataon na today wala na namang klase dahil sinuspende ni Governor ulit, Governor Pineda dito sa Pampanga dahil nga sa banta ng masamang panahon. So, samahan ninyo ako na aralin naman ang isa pang method na ginagamit to solve quadratic equations, which is factoring. So, kung kayo ay nag-grade 8 na last school year, ibig sabihin, your math teacher this year is expecting you to be able to recall the lessons on factoring para magamit ninyo sa lesson na to na solving quadratic equations by factoring. Okay? Now, we have to take note na meron tatlong cases of quadratic equations where we can apply factoring. So, let's enumerate those. So, case 1, ito yung mga quadratic equation na ang standard form ay ganito. Ax squared plus c equals 0. So, walang linear term dyan. Ibig lang sabihin, the coefficient b is equal to 0. Case 2 naman ay ganito. Ax squared plus bx equals 0. Walang constant term, which means the coefficient c here is equal to 0. Ang case 3 naman, yung lahat ng quadratic term, linear term, at constant term ay present. So, ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Ayan. So, ibig sabihin, the involved quadratic polynomial in the equation has to be expressed in its factored form. Tapos, we will apply what is called zero product property or ZPP na lang for short. Anong sinasabi ng ZPP? So kung ang ESR, extracting square roots method, ay merong square root property, pagdating sa factoring method, meron tayong tinatawag na ZPP or zero product property nga. Ang sinasabi niyan ay ganito. If the product of two real numbers is 0, then it is either that one of the two numbers is 0 or both of them are equal to 0. Ibig sabihin lang yan, after nating ma-express in factored form ang quadratic polynomial involving the equation, we just have to equate each of those factors to 0. And then, determine the value of the variable. Okay? So, mag-focus tayo muna ngayon sa case 1 and I will give 3 examples. At ito ang una. X squared minus 100 equals 0. Notice that in this case, ax squared plus c equals 0 ang standard form. Kaparehas lang nito yung standard form ng mga equation na pwedeng gamitan ng ESR or extracting square roots method. Pero syempre, dahil factoring ito, we'll apply a different procedure in determining the solutions or the roots of the equation. Factoring nga. But, what specific factoring technique can we apply in this case? Tingnan natin ang example natin. X squared minus 100. So we have here binomial. And the terms are separated by a minus sign. So this is the case of difference of two terms. But what kind of numbers or terms are these? X squared. So x raised to 2. 100. X squared, it's raised to an even exponent. So it is a perfect square number. 100 is also a perfect square number. So it means this is the case of difference, DTS na lang, difference of two squares. So kapag fina-factor natin ang difference of two squares, anong tawag dun sa factors niya? We have sum and difference of two numbers. Ibig sabihin, the factored form will have to look like this. So may dalawang pairs tayo of parentheses. Sa loob ng isang pair of parentheses may plus sign at sa isa pa ay merong minus sign. So, the first term in each binomial factor are just equal, and they're actually the square root of the first term in the binomial. What is the square root of x squared? It's x. So, we put x as the first term in each binomial factor. Also, the second term or the last term in each binomial factor are equal, and they are the square root of 100. So, we put 10. So we have 10 here and 10 also in here. So ibig sabihin, this already shows the factored form of the given quadratic polynomial or the quadratic binomial in our given equation. So we do apply now ZPP or zero product property. So we have to put x plus 10. Wait lang, para medyo magulo yung aking pen at saka pen tablet. Ano bang meron? Wait lang. Okay. Ayun. So we have to put lang x plus 10, or right, x plus 10 equals 0. And then on the other side, or in the other column, we have x minus 10 equals 0. So we are down to solving now linear equations in one variable. So we have to determine the value of x in each linear equation. So, mag-transpose na lang tayo para mas mabilis. So we have x equals 0 minus 10. It means x here is equal to negative 10. At tapos na to. Ibig sabihin lang yan, one of the roots of this given quadratic equation is negative 10. And then from this second linear equation, we have x equals 0 plus 10, which means x, the other value of x in this given quadratic equation, is positive 10. So dahil dalawang magkaiba yan, we can just make use of subscript. So we have x sub 1 equals negative 10 and x sub 2 equals positive 10. Ayan. So, kung again, may duda ka kung mali yung sagot mo or hindi ka sure kung tama nga, you can just, of course, always check. Okay? Meaning, i-plug in mo yung obtained values ng variable dun sa given quadratic equation and see if they satisfy the given quadratic equation. Let's have our next example. We have 3x squared minus 108 equals 0. This is, again, written in standard form na. But, look at this quadratic polynomial or quadratic binomial. 3x squared minus 108. Yes, this is the case of difference of two numbers, but not difference of two squares. So what do we do? Pansinin natin yung 3 at 108. Both of them are divisible by 3, which means baka we need to apply muna greatest common monomial factor at saka lilitaw yung difference of two squares. So let's do that. So we'll factor out 3. So we will divide both terms here by 3. And then the results will be placed inside this pair of parentheses. So 3x squared divided by 3 is x squared. And then, negative 108 divided by 3 is negative 36. Ayan. So, lumitaw na this given quadratic polynomial can be factored this way muna. 3 times the quantity x squared minus 36 equals 0. Ayan. So this is the case of difference of two squares na kasi x raised to 2, that's an even exponent, so perfect square. 36 is also perfect square number. So what do we do next? Do we have to factor na yung x squared minus 36? Pwede naman na, pero ako, ang gagawin ko ay i-eliminate ko na agad yung coefficient na 3. Okay? Kasi this factor 3 will not give us any of the roots that we are looking for. So, we might as well get rid of it. So, we have the resulting equation x squared minus 36 equals 0. And then, we can apply na po yung factoring difference of two squares. So, two pairs of parentheses again, and then plus sign, and then minus sign. Then equals 0 pa din yan. So, what do we put as first term in each binomial factor? Siyempre, yung square root ng x squared, which is x. What about the second or last term in each binomial factor? Ano bang square root ng 36? Yun ay 6. Okay, so this is the factored form of x squared minus 36. So what is our next step? Apply ZPP. So x plus 6 equals 0. And then on the other column, we write x minus 6 equals 0. So we apply pagta-transpose para mas mabilis. Or if you can actually use mental math, pwede din. So, what is the value of x such that x plus 6 is equal to 0? In here naman, what is the value of x such that x minus 6 is equal to 0? Okay? So, ako naman, detalyado na lang, okay, para nakikita niyo yung step-by-step procedure. So, what we do is transpose positive 6, so magiging 0 minus 6 yung ating right-hand side ng equation. This means x is equal to negative 6. Sa kabila naman, we have x equals 0 plus 6, and therefore, x equals positive 6. So, we have x sub 1 equals negative 6, and x sub 2 equals 6. So, these are the two roots of this given quadratic equation. Let's have our third and last example for case 1. 81 minus 4x squared equals 0. Ayan, okay lang din ito na nauna yung constant term tapos pumangalawa lang or nasa hulihan yung tawag dito, yung quadratic term. Although, syempre, we can consider this as an equation in standard form. Pero, para mas maganda or mas convenient tingnan sa atin, lumitaw agad na difference of 2 squares siya, ganyan na natin siyang isusulat. Okay, 81 minus 4x squared equals 0. But again, if you wish to see its standard form, ganito siya. Negative 4x squared plus 81 equals 0. Pero ito nga, sa ganitong ayos natin makikita that this is, again, a case of difference of 2 squares. So, we go ahead and prepare the two pairs of parentheses. And then, again, may plus sign sa loob ng isa, and then minus sign dun sa pangalawa. What is the square root of 81? So, it means that is equal to 9. So, ibig sabihin, 9 will be the first term in each binomial factor. What about the square root of 4x squared? O, isa-isahan muna natin. Ano bang square root ng 4? 2. Ano square root ng x squared? X. So, 2x is the square root of this term. So, we put 2x here, and then 2x also here. Ayan. And then, we apply ZPP. 9 plus 2x equals 0. And then, 9 minus 2x equals 0. Okay. Ito tayo sa una na nasa left column. We, of course, isolate the term containing the variable. Therefore, the constant has to be transposed to the other side. So, positive 2x or simply 2x must be equal to 0 minus 9. Therefore, 2x is equal to negative 9. Are we done? Not yet. Kasi we have to determine pa the value of x. 2x pa lang ito eh. Okay? So, what do? We divide both sides na po by 2. Yan. So, if the constant on the other side of the equation is not divisible by that divisor, we just express the answer as a fraction. So, therefore, x is equal to negative 9 over 2. By the way, yung negative sign na yan can be placed katapat or sa gitna, katapat ng fraction bar, or sa numerator, never sa denominator. What about ito nasa right column? 9 minus 2x equals 0. So, again, we isolate this term containing the variable. So, negative 2x muna siya dito sa left side equals 0 minus 9. So, we have negative 2x equals negative 9. And then, of course, we divide both sides now by negative 2 to get the value of x. So, we have positive x or simply x equals negative 9 over negative 2. These are two negative integers. Parehas ang sign. So, therefore, quotient will be a positive number. So, hindi siya integer. It's a fraction actually. An improper one. So, 9 over 2. So, again, these are the two roots of this given quadratic equation. X sub 1 is equal to negative 9 over 2, while x sub 2 is equal to 9 over 2. So, we'll have another set of 3 examples na for case 2 naman.